Sergeant Morris is the only living medal honor recipient in the state of Oklahoma. And guess where he's from? So I'm just going to read some of his introduction, but I'm going to let him talk to you. He retired Sergeant First Class Melvin Morris of Okmulgee, and he received the nation's highest medal of honor, military honor, March 18th in Washington, D.C. This year. He was one of 24 veterans honored from World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. 21 of the honorees are deceased. The medals were given after 12-year review of records of men with minority backgrounds who were believed to have been overlooked. Morris was cited for his heroic actions of September 17, 1969 in Vietnam. He was shot 3 times during the action in which he rescued personnel and a valuable map for a Special Forces unit. Morris joined the Army in 1960 and was one of the first Green Berets. I always think of John Wayne's movie, Green Beret. That's what I think of. Melvin and his wife, Mary, live in Cocoa, Florida. Right now, I'd like Senator Ballinger, our city manager, to come forward. When I met Sergeant Morris, I immediately asked Senator Ballinger if he would get us a flag that had flown over the Oklahoma State Capitol. And so this is that flag. And Melvin, I'd like to present this to you. And this is a certificate that states that this flew over the state capitol of Oklahoma. And this is the flag. Thank you, Roger. You bet. So at this time, I would like to turn the program over to Sergeant First Class Melvin Morris.
I want to thank you, especially in my hometown, Okmulgee. And so to be recognized by Lions Club means a lot to me. And I want to thank the mayor, the senator, and all those that given me these honors. I mean, it's overwhelming. And, you know, receiving the Congressional Medal of Honor is a life-changing event. And they tell me, you don't own yourself anymore. People own you. And, you know, I've traveled a lot since I received this recognition, and the response has been great. I mean, people are very, very patriotic, and they really want to recognize you and let it be known that they do care. Now, I understand that you do have, which I consider a hero, is my friend here. I didn't want to forget his name, Jim Bond, from World War II. And he has my respect and admiration. Amen. I heard a little of his story, and he had to be a very tough man to do what he did. That's no joke. I have 2 friends that I trained with in 1962 and 63. They were World War II veterans, and they were with the OSS and Dodgers Rangers and Airborne Infantry Regiment. Very tough guys. And one of them just made a jump in France, stayed near Greece this year in June, and he was 89 years old. You remember the movie Saving Private Ryan? Yeah. Okay, those 2 guys are my friends. They're still living. The one that's 89, that was 91. Yes. So those are my heroes, and I got good training from those guys. World War II, those guys were tough. And I respect you, my friend, and thank you for your service.
Amen.
You know, it's a great thing to be able to represent the military. But you're one of the greatest things is to stay on from Okmulgee. And you would have such an honor. You know, 1969, I had the nation's second highest decoration. And people hardly knew it, you know, because it was second. Yeah, but now since I have the nation's highest decoration, you know, the response has been overwhelming. But I'm trying to say that we should recognize all of our heroes, regardless of the degree of service or decorations that they had. And I always say, don't ever forget the ones who gave us ultimate sacrifice, and that was their lives. You see, when you put on a uniform and you put a boot on the ground, you're a hero. Because you don't know what's going to happen to you after that moment. Once you're in uniform, you'll never know when you're going to war. And so you really to make that sacrifice once you put the uniform on. And I admire and respect that. I was at the Class Reunion the other day, and there was 3 young boys outside, and I think about 10, 11, 12. And I'm in uniform, so I passed by, and one of them snapped up and gave me a salute. I said, where did you learn that at? He said, well, we're going into the Marine Corps, we know. I said, well, I'm honored. I said, that's all right. Yeah, but I really appreciate the response I've been given. And I've been visiting, and I tend to stay busy because no one would know me or know anything. So, and especially I get out and try to talk to young people. And so I sat getting all the challenges, and if I could stay on the road continuously, that's what I'll do. The younger people don't have the same street core we had. And they need to be talked to, and they need to have a role model, because they take the welfare for granted today. You know, we're not in crisis mode. So, you know, someone want to talk to them, they'll stay away. They think to be the military Xbox, you know, the video game. But that would get you in the wrong direction. And so I have to represent. And one other key note, I just lost one of my birds the other day, this week. No honor recipient. He had never recovered because he was captured and was a prisoner of war for a year because it affected his health there. So he just passed, last week. And we were together in the same unit. And so my hat's off to him, and I salute him. And I have to prepare to go to his memorial. So we just lost another Medal of Honor recipient. And once again, I want to thank all the attention given to me, and I appreciate the kindness that you've shown toward me. I just can't give you enough thanks. And I thank you again. Thank you.
I'm sure that you have some.
I have one. Could you talk about your experience once the White House or the Pentagon notified you of your selection?
Really humorous, but I'll tell you. I received a call, I think, on Wednesday. My wife answered the phone. And they say, Colonel Davis from G1. G1 is normally personnel in Washington, D.C. And he said, high government official wants me to speak to you. And meet you by the phone at 12:30 the next day. And my mind started to run, race. And you know, I worked special ops while I was in the military. And I said, oh boy, I left a stone unturned. So the phone call came in the next day. The colonel's on the phone, and he said, well, this government official is standing by you, ready to speak to you. And my heart started to race. The men, I said, the men in black jackets. On that. And they're going to probably say that was the President Obama. And I want to apologize to you for not receiving the congressional honor when you should have. And I kind of like it. And he said, be cool, be cool, be cool. And he already had his head. And so I worried that night, I said something about putting a point. So I'll call back up. I'll call the number. So the president's phone number is 0000. So I call the number. And I said, this is a joke, you got a lot of punishes today. He said, you listen. If the president of the United States told you something, it's official. Don't call it here no more.
Ever did you tell us where you were when this action occurred in Vietnam?
Oh, no problem with that. In fact, President, well, plenty of the report. We was in the same area, which is Maycomb Delta. He was in the Navy, and service. And I think the PGR boats, the swift boats.
No, we're on the stores.
Oh, you're outside.
Yeah.
He was outside, so he knows about the Maycomb Delta. And when they say Delta, that's what it is, not the natural water with 3 pieces of land. And I was a military advisor to the Cambodians. And oftentimes, we 1, 2, or 3. And you have to really trust your troops because they were foreign troops. And they were paid to fight with it. And so if you didn't get to establish trust, you could, be left out there and never come back. But I had a lot of trust in the troops. And they still reach out to me right now today from overseas. That portion of work wasn't classified. That was a military advisor work. And what we did on a weekly basis is hunting Indians. We come in, get a little rest, go back out, and our mission was search and destroy. And I hate to use the word, but kill, search and destroy. And we stayed high on him. We had a good track record. Then the next year, I got wounded 3 times in that situation. And I'll just go make the story. We were on a search and destroy mission. And we crossed the rice paddy, went through a village, and no one was there. That's part of our course. There's one elderly lady out in the courtyard, singing. And normally, your mama walked home from my unit, and I said, something wrong. And I said, ladies, give it the code that we're here. And so we moved through the village, and we got to the wood line, and they were waiting in the wood line. And so my sister company got baited in, and they went in and that's when the fight really started. And so I got a telephone, radio call, that my team sergeant had been killed. And my team captain said he was wounded bad. My intel sergeant had hit a mine, and he was wounded bad. So it was only me and one young enlisted man. So we had to reorganize and move forward to get them meted back and get everybody out. And especially I had to recover the body of my team sergeant. And so we got to the area and the fight was pretty intense. I mean, they throw it at us. But I say, well, I gotta do what I gotta do. So I went in, tried to get to the body, and when I got to the body, I gave him the last rites. And at that moment, they took me out to the hip for some reason, by the grace of God. So after I finished the last rites, they opened up on me. And the 2 troops that were with me got wounded, so I had to take them out. Then I went back in again with 2 more. Okay, we got to the body where we were able to to carry and get the body out. And when we got the body out, the map case fell out of his pocket. So I said, well, I got to go back and get that. So the only way I can do it is I got every hand grenade I could carry, which I think was about 30. If you know what a Claymore bag is, I dumped out the Claymores and filled them up with hand grenades. And I went to bunker, throwing hand grenades in the bunkers. And some of them I used white phosphorus, whatever I had. I said, I've never come out of that. And I think my last hand grenade, when I threw it, one of them shot me in the chest. And I went down and I got back up. And I had to get to a tree. And trying to get to a tree to recover, I got shot in the arm. And I didn't realize I was also shot in the left hand also. So I said, well, I'm going to fight to the end. So I think I stayed there about a couple hours fighting. And I said, well, I've got to get out. I asked the Air Force for help. And they were taking heavy anti-aircraft fire. So they said goodbye, right? And the Navy had a light observation helicopter. And they said, well, we got some C4 on board the helicopter. We'll drop that. And I say, drop it. And they gave me enough time to kind of zigzag my way out of there. They were trying to take them out on the way out. And, you know, with 3 bullet holes, I think I run about a quarter of a mile. Because the units had pulled out already. And I was on my own. And if I didn't come out, I was going to be a POW, either dead. But I managed to get out, and I managed to run that distance. And in the story. Well, that's not the other story. I got to tell you, that medevac come in, and we got the wounded and the dead on the helicopter. And we go being medevac. So the pilot said, well, I got to stop at Little Movie Job to pick up some wounded. I said, oh no, I'm looking down, I see us fighting like crazy. I said, you're not going down there, because I just got medevac. I'm not going to get shot down. But we landed anyhow, we picked up some more dead wounded. And finally, eventually I got to the hospital. Yeah, but that was a scary moment.
How long were you in the hospital with those injuries, the wounds?
September, October, November, December. And when I got back to Fort Bragg, they said, well, you got to stay at the hospital. I said, oh, no. Not 1 day, not 1 minute. I'm going home. Yeah. And after I got out of the hospital in January, I volunteered to go back to Vietnam. And I was back in Vietnam in April 1970. And coincidentally, when I went back to the same unit. And I went back to that mountaintop where they were fighting at. And when I got on the mountaintop, there was so many dead that I stopped counting. I couldn't count. And there was no place to bury or nothing. They just laid out in the open. And I had to stay there with my troops. And I don't need to tell you how bad it was. It was awful. And we got 2 or 3 fights while we were there. But they called me back now and told me they needed me to go north. And going north was tough. So I was signed to Clone Tree to a special ops outfit. And that's running top secret recon. And I did that for the rest of my time. And can't tell you no more than that. But I survived that. And I'm standing here today and I really, it's still overwhelming. And you know how you think, I think I did nothing but do my job, that's it. And a lot of people will say, well, you won or you did. You don't win that. Whenever you're recognized for a decoration, it is something that you didn't plan on and you can't control it. It's just things that happen at that moment. And it's unique. And when you look at it, the guy survived tremendous events. But it's just what it is. You got a survivor right here. That somebody can walk 600 miles. That's my hero. That's my hero. So, and I'm gonna take a phrase that was coined, and hope it don't come get me, but it's true. When that old newspaper articles, heroes are made, not born. It's just something you don't plan on. And my thing that I always say is, you just do what you gotta do, and the results take care of itself. Okay, any more questions? Oh, yeah.
I was just wondering, what age were you at the time you were on the ground and got injured?
Oh, man. I was 26 years old. Yeah, and well, that's not just it. And Vietnam was 26 years old. The average young man was 18, 19, 20 years old. And they would call me Papa Son.
What are your memories of Okmulgee before you left, as you grew up and went to Dunbar? What are some of your fond memories of just being a kid running around the community?
Everybody said, where do you come from? I said, I come from Greasy Creek. That was big boy, so they said, that doesn't where they're from. And I have fond memories of Okmulgee. I tell my wife all the time, Okmulgee was one of the most bustling cities back in the early days. And I mean, agriculture, economic, business, manufacturing, you name it, Okmulgee had it. The oil refinery, you know, they pretty good. I didn't know it worked there, but I did all my work out here. Did a little cotton baking, did a little corn baking, not otherwise. Yeah, we have a lot of tough people here, and you know, I was looking at one class the other day, you know, how so many achieve so much, and you would think, you know, a lot of people think we're coming from a little town like that. We got a lot of great people in the market, and they excel in almost every area. And no, I'm proud of it. I don't shy away from being an Okmulgee. I love my little town. Yes, I do.
On behalf of the Lions, we wanted to share this momentum with you. It's a cup of the Lions, and it's got chocolate in it.
As you know, the chocolate.
Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you for your service to our country. And thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
As one of our Okmulgeeans myself, but I'm a transplant. I'm proud of Okmulgee too, and I think every person in this room is. So we're glad that you're one of us.
Thank you so much.
We stand adjourned.
The Lions Club prepared some special song choices in honor of Mr. Morris's visit. Remember, You could also enjoy a special fellowship time like this with the Okmulgee Lions Club Civic Organization, a well-renowned group of volunteers who meet the needs of the local community and the world. As a Lion Club member, you'll join a local group of service-minded men and women who are volunteering to support your community every day.